What's up, everybody? We are back. Q&A Empire, back for another video.
This is your girl Ari, and we're
keeping
just keeping it raw.
So, topic of the day is our truth, for real. So, you gonna go first?
I think you should go first, cause you tell the story a little bit better.
So, for starters,
when we say our story, we're talking about like
us,
how we met,
how we got here,
yeah,
and just the basics. But we will add some details. So,
but you have to watch the whole video in order for you to understand everything that's going on. So don't skip the video trying to figure out bits and pieces, cause then you're not gonna understand.
Facts. So, like, let's see.
All right, well, let's start off like this.
I'm Q again.
Baby.
I grew up in Suffolk. I'm 22 at the moment. Birthday's in August. Leo gang.
For me,
November baby.
yeah, he's in November. He's a
Josiah, this is our first son.
Yeah, this is Josiah. Right.
My dog.
So then, okay, so I'm Ari. Basically, like I said, like in the previous video, I grew up in Virginia Beach, so that's where I'm born and raised at. So it was like how we kind of started, I would say, like, was kind of weird. It was very, very weird, because there's so many times, and like, especially like now that we like talk about things more, it's like we be like, dang, like I could have met you back then, or dang, I could have, like seen you then. But because we were so far, I guess it was just like it just never happened.
And so, look, so basically, I met her.
So
off of
keep in
Instagram.
mind, in this whole situation,
keep
he's
it real.
in Suffolk.
We're keeping it real too. So
He's in Suffolk, and I'm all the way up Virginia Beach. So if you from the 757, that's a big stretch. Like,
so
nobody gonna drive that far.
I met her off Instagram one day on the real. I hit her up, slid in her DMs.
And it was crazy because it was on my birthday. It was my birthday weekend. I had just turned 18.
But the caption of the post was something like towards the terms of like your loss.
It was
like your
dear,
loss.
dear
Your loss, or like something like that. So me saying that, I'm like,
no, it was sorry for your loss. That's what it was.
Yeah, so
it was sorry for your loss.
Me saying that, I'm like, alright, so obviously she must be single. Obviously some nigga, she's saying that, sorry for his loss and shit. So I'm like, I bet I'ma slide. So I slid in her DMs. She basically told me that she was currently in a relationship at the time. Cause
I was, but like the relationship that I was in was,
it was
like,
going south, so she still gave me her number.
Yeah.
So I started texting her, and basically the first couple of weeks, like, it was alright,
Oh, by the way, we're painting, just in case y'all don't know.
We stopped talking for like a little minute. It was probably like a couple of weeks went by where I ain't text her, she ain't text me, none of that.
You talking about when I first gave you my number?
Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, but everybody who knows me knows I switch phones, like I switch
a drug deal.
So obviously I got another phone and I didn't have her number no more. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna slide back on her DM. So I did again, and I made my shot for the second time. This time she gave me her number again.
But I was still but this time I was in a different relationship. Like, I had got out of one and went into one, and he was still trying to shoot a shot at me. But the one that I was in was already going south because of like certain reasons.
Yeah, so I hit her up. So I hit her up. She, like she said, she told me she was still in a relationship. She was still, doing stuff with, her nigga and stuff. But at the same time, she had once again gave me her number.
Because once again,
and I quote, she said word for word. Oh, cause I even was like, oh well, you know, what about your nigga? And she said word for word. I think it was like,
I said we could be friends or something like that.
Nah, she was like, yeah. So what? Like, we can still be friends or something like that.
Yeah, I said we can still be friends. I did not say
like,
no. So what?
You did. So basically, after she said all that, she.
That's how you carried it, but that's not what was said.
That's what was said, point blank. So I got her number. We started texting again. So this when it get real. So this time I'm like, you know, instead of just text you, let me pull up on you. She was like all for it. I'm saying like, yeah, you know, like we gonna go chill. We gonna be like, you know, we can go to dinner. We can go see a movie. You know, we just talking about doing a bunch of shit. Like we can do whatever. So as we, you know,
but mind you,
the day approaches where we supposed to link.
Okay, like, hold on, pause. Cause now that day I was with my cousin, right? Who I consider more like a sister, right? So me and her were like, at the time she knew how to do nails. So I went to the mall. Me and my cousin, we went to the mall. I bought like 2 dresses, and I had got my nails done that day. But if you know the cousin I'm talking about, like the people who know, y'all know me and her link up. We take forever to do stuff. And that's because we just girls, like we just be doing stuff, like we be talking. So it's like we ain't gonna rush. Like we just gonna take our time and do us. But the whole time, so look, I'm in the mall, right? I was in like, I don't know what store I was in. I think I was in Charlotte Russe or something like that. And my phone kept vibrating. Like I felt my phone and it kept vibrating. So I get on my phone. Tell me why this man blows me up on every single app he could find me on. Like literally every single app. Like there was Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, texting me, calling me.
The cap.
Are you serious? Because we could call her and she'll tell you. We'll call her.
The cap. Look, so.
She know. When she watches video, she gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
What's up? I'm glad you're not.
But basically, yeah, so
I
so basically what had happened was that I ended up answering him. And now mind you, we were supposed to hang out at like what time that day?
Like sometime like beginning of the afternoon.
Yeah. So this is like 4 or 5 o'clock now. And he's just like, yo, where you at? Like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I told him I was over, like, you know, like, I'm about to, like, go get my nails done or whatever, but it shouldn't take long. Because it wasn't supposed to. So then, I leave the mall. I go back to my cousin's house. Because mind you, my cousin's doing nails. Like, she knows how to do nails on her, like, on her own. So I go to my cousin's house, and we start doing my nails. Now, mind you, like, when you go get your nails done, there is no rushing for that, like at all. Like you cannot rush to get your nails done. So when I told him to get my nails done, he should have known it was gonna take a little hot minute. But you can continue.
So I hit her up. Basically, you know, we were supposed to link. She tells me, oh, you know, I'm going to the mall first and stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. So all day, she's just, oh, I'm at the mall. I'm still at the mall.
It was crazy. Why didn't you?
But she would go like hours without like texting me.
When you, like I said, when you were like us females, like come on now, you know, like when we in the mall, like there's no interrupting, there's no staying on your phone, there's no none of that. Like you gotta make sure that you find what you like. Make sure what you like is your size. And if you a thick girl like me, you gotta make sure that it fits correctly. Like you can't just wear any and anything. So being in the mall, like, and then I'm very indecisive. So it takes me at least like a good hour just to decide what I want. Get a few things that I want. This gonna take me at least 30 minutes to try everything on. Make sure everything fit right. And then you gotta think about the lines in the cash register. So it was just a whole lot. It was a whole lot of.
So we post the link. The day comes, you know, I'm waiting all day long. She got me waiting, just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for basically her to let me know that it was alright to, you know, be on the way to leave my house and pull up. Anybody who knows me, you know my parents. You know how they are. If you know, you know.
We ain't gonna discuss it.
If you know, you know. So it was always like if I told them I was going somewhere, and at the time I was using my dad's car. So if I told them I was going somewhere,
but I wasn't
had
under
to,
that
like,
impression.
go to that place, you feel me? Like it was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like I had to say, you know. So, and it wasn't no switching times, because then he would just be like, oh, no, you lying about something. You're not going nowhere.
Yeah, you're not going nowhere, yeah.
So, I couldn't switch it up. So, all day I'm just like, yeah, you know, I'm still going out. I'm still going out and stuff. But showtime, she's not even responding to me. So, I'm doing this off of the pure strength that hopefully he gonna see me. Hopefully, she will text me back. Yeah, John. Like, it don't make no sense. So, as we sitting there, as we getting ready and stuff, I started, like, you know, I finally start getting ready. And, you know, like I said, I'm getting ready based off the pure strength that hopefully she's going to text me back. Just hopefully. So, in the process,
Oh, this was back in my days when I
she finally texted me back.
Like, I really didn't care. Like,
but when she texted me back, she was like, yeah, you know, I'm almost done at the mall. Then I'm going to get my nails done real quick. And that's what's up. So I'm just like, all right, how long that's going to take? She's like, you know, give it or take 2 hours. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's not that bad. I can deal with it.
Mind you, Virginia Beach to Suffolk is like,
yeah, so,
at least
but like I say, I took my brother.
minutes.
Everybody who knows me, you know, I'm not a fan of Virginia Beach. So I took my brother out there with me. So as we going.
That's his ride or die. He was gonna take his brother regardless.
So we get, like, you know, I get dressed and stuff. We start leaving the house. At this point, I'm like, hold on, you need to slow down. So we getting dressed.
Watch down, brother.
And stuff. So I leave the crib. Me and my brother stop at this park in Chesapeake. So we sitting there at the park. I'm
and
like,
it's
all right,
crazy
so
because
we're only like 15 minutes away from the beach now. So whenever she hit me, we're locked. I'm gonna go pull up, do what we do. Obviously, my brother would have, you know, did what he did, let us have our privacy, this and the third. So as we are driving to Chesapeake, you know, she texts me and she's just like, hey, you know, I'm about to go get my nails done. So I'm just like, I bet this is going faster than I thought. So I'm like, all right, cool. I don't even gotta, you know, go sit at this park for her. I could just, you know, stop, make a quick little stop and keep it moving. So this is when she gets the tripping. She texts me talking about something. Oh, I just sat down in the nail chair. I'm about to have my nails done and we can pull up. This was at, like, let's just say, I don't really know the time frame exactly, I can't remember, but let's just say this is around 1 o'clock.
Nah, cause
it's not gonna be exact. I'm just saying, like, let's just say it's like 1 o'clock, and we get to like 2:30, 3 o'clock. She's like, oh, you know, I'll be done in the next 45 minutes. So I'm like, I bet. 45 minutes go by.
It was already the evening when I got my nails done.
Yeah, I'm saying, so I'm just like, what's up? I said it's not gonna be exact. So that's what I'm saying. So it was just like 3 o'clock came or whatever, so I'm just like, what's up? She's like, oh, you know, I'm still getting them done or whatever. 30 minutes go past. I'm just like, what's up? By this time, it's almost damn near 4 o'clock.
Cause like I didn't like. Okay, look, this is why I kept like procrastinating with the time. Cause it was like I did wanted to see him, so it was like I didn't want him to just leave. But then again, at the same time, it was like I really didn't know how long it was gonna take for my nails to be done. But he was really pressing me on like a time, and like now, like, you know, like understanding like how like where he's from and where things and how things was ran at the time, it was like I get it now. But it was like at the time it was like he was rushing me so much to where it was like I had to start lying about time because it was like I do want to see him, but he doing too much, like he pressing too much. So that's the real reason why I was like, because I would say 45 minutes. 45 minutes went by, I would say 30 minutes. 30 minutes went by, I would say give me like another 15. 15 minutes would go by, I would say, okay, I'm gonna need another 30 minutes. He'd be like, what? Like, what? It was
Yeah, so.
It was funny now, but not at the time.
We sitting there, as she said, we were, she told me, yeah, so another 30 minutes went by. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck is up at this point? Like, you are really tripping, you carrying it, and I don't wait for nobody. Like, at the time, I ain't have no patience, none of that. So, as she comes, she texts me back, and was like, oh,
slow down, Bubby.
Just give me another hour. So at this point, I'm like, how are you going down on time? Now you increasing the time. You went from 45 twice to 30 minutes to give you an hour. So I'm like, bro, you are.
And anybody that knows him should know, like, why are you still staying at this
Everybody
point?
who knows me, cause like still to this day is always just like, what in the world was you thinking? Like,
he just didn't know I was gonna be his wife. That's why he waited.
Yeah, so we come.
No, so basically, so eventually I get done, right? Long story short, I'm pretty sure y'all get it that I took forever.
Yeah.
So long story short, I end up getting done, and I sent him the address. And so, like I said, I'm from Virginia Beach, but at that time I was in Chesapeake. So I had sent him the address. He came over or whatever, and when he first pulled up, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of scared, cause it was just like, damn, I felt like I done wasted this man's day, basically waiting on me. And it's like, it was like, what? It was just stupid late. I just remember it being stupid dark outside, so it had to been like pretty late. And I was just like, dang, like, you know, like I feel bad or whatever. So then what I did was, so yeah, we end up meeting, right? So I'm walking up to the car, and I had like this gray dress on, and it was pretty short.
Completely forgot. So,
But
that's fine. Don't, cause I'm not clapping for that.
so yeah, so basically we end up meeting, and I was just really scared. But when I got into the car, like, you know, I think you came out the car, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we get there. I get out the car. I walk into it. At this point, it's nighttime, so y'all know how long I done waited. So I get out the car. She's standing there in this little short, little gray dress.
It was
I'm just like, man, here we go.
Mind you, this is my prime time. This was my prime time, so I was.
At this point, I'm like, man, here we go. So she gets, you know, walking out. She has her bag from the mall and stuff. I ask her for a hug. She gives me one.
He was so
I walk
cute,
into the car.
Oh my god.
So I walk into the car.
I had butterflies. Like, oh my god.
I put her in the front. I got her in the front seat. So as I start driving off, I forgot. I can't even like remember how the conversation started. But we ended up going to a 7-Eleven down the street.
But no, what threw me off the most about like when I first met you was like how quick you would like tell me like about you, like. Cause I'll let him tell his own story, but it's like.
My thing is this though, like if I'm with somebody, or if I feel like I'm gonna give somebody like my time of day and I done waited for you all day, like you gonna know what's up, like you feel me? Like my thing is you always gonna get the real me, like you feel me? So regardless of who it is, like you might not know, and actually you can say now like she can look back then and be like, oh, well, you know, you were saying a lot and stuff, but you might have told me a lot about yourself, but as she would tell you that it was so much that she still did not know. So I told her basically just the basics about myself and stuff. Like, oh. So
but it was like things that like you wouldn't expect.
Yeah,
for somebody to tell
I just
you
told
on
her,
like the
what's
first
up? Like,
time
yo,
you meet.
like, cause I'm adopted, like this, that, and the third. I am adopted and stuff. So, but I just keep it real though, cause to me, like, as long as you know, like, my background, then you know why I carry shit the way I carry.
Yeah, and how to carry.
Yeah, so
you.
that's why
I should
say
carry
that.
you.
Yeah, so that's why I say that. So then you know how to carry me, and you know if something come up, if I carry if I carry a conversation a certain way, you gonna know why, basically. So as we get to the 7-Eleven, she get out the car. At this time, you know, she got a wedgie. So
no, I did
like
not.
I said, it was a short gray dress.
I did not have no wedgie.
As me
You
walking behind
it.
her, you know, I'm just like
you carrying it. I did not have no wedgie. You
I
just
was like
what
this.
you saw.
Y'all, I was like this. I was like, I'm about to get it. I had the do-rag was tied up. You know, I'm not like acting like I got hair or nothing. But
don't let him fool you, because that's technically his wig.
No, it's not. So, we get. I'm walking behind her and stuff. So I'm like, yo, like, oh, you. Go ahead.
Whole time I wasn't even paying him no attention at that point. I didn't even know he was like looking at me.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I'm walking behind her in the 7-Eleven, like, man. So, but
But
like
he
I
ain't
said,
get
I have
none.
my brother with me,
He
so
ain't get
I
nothing.
won't about to try anyway.
So don't get no ideas.
So, as we get to the 7-Eleven, you know, I'm walking in behind her, so she goes in, she buys everything. So at this point, I'm just like,
because I was balling.
like I say, back then though, she was, I will say she was a yes girl. Like anything,
because I was just so,
anything me and my brother asked for, she would never ever say
if
no.
y'all knew me back then, it was so bad to the point where people would be like, Ariana, you're too nice, you're being too nice, like you're too friendly, you're too nice.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's just how I was. Like, I just have a good heart. But over the years,
Obviously,
I don't
things
know.
change.
Things just, I guess when I had kids, things just changed.
When you had kids, it changed when you met me.
No, yeah, because you drove
So,
me crazy. That's why.
No, she drove herself crazy.
No.
I just helped. But so
People who know.
so as basically, like I said, I'm just like, you know, I'm hyped up at this point because I'm like, okay.
So
you know,
now you got.
she working with a little something from the back and stuff. So
And my pockets were
we
right.
go on,
That's
yeah,
what really
and
had
you know,
me.
she was buying shit. So I'm like, okay, you feel me? I ain't pick up no broke man. So
Chill.
so as we come in,
Because it's not always like that.
yeah, but you know how it was back then. Back then, like we literally like. I hung out with her that night, y'all, and then
It was like every day since then.
basically every day after that we hung out for like at least a year.
Like literally,
at least,
it would
like,
go
the
to
whole
a
summer.
point. Like it would literally get to a point where it was like, I would get a phone call at 8:00 in the morning.
But
from
she
him,
lied to
and
me
he
that
would
night though. She lied her ass.
Oh
off.
yeah.
She told some.
I finessed my way
I'm
home.
thinking about like she told some.
I
Yeah, so
finessed my
you know
way
after
home.
all this, I'm like, yeah. She
Mind you,
told some-
I'm in Chesapeake and I live in Virginia
Yeah,
Beach.
so but you know I live in Suffolk, so I'm just like, yo, she's like, can you take me home? So I'm like, you know, duh. You know, I ain't no stupid nigga. I ain't about to leave you like, you know, where we was at and shit. So as I get to driving, you know, I'm thinking I'm about to go a couple miles back down the road.
The reason why I asked that
And
question,
shit.
because some people might be like,
And then
curious
she
on why I asked
and then
that.
she told me something. This is what she hit me with. Can I just send you my address? So I'm thinking, it's not the same place I just came from. Don't I already have the address? No. What you mean no? I'm literally driving. We having this conversation. What you mean no? She told me.
And he's driving in the direction that I needed him to.
Yeah,
Which was great.
just coincidentally. So then she told some. I just toss.
What's wrong,
toss
Bubba?
Oreo over here. He want Oreo.
Ooh.
So.
Say thank you. Say thank you.
Yeah, so we get back, like, so basically she tells me that she wants to send me the address. She gives me the address. It is a whole like 40 something minutes away. So I'm like, yo, she is tripping. She got me taking her to goddamn Williamsburg. Some most, man, let me tell you, I was livid. I was mad.
But he didn't seem like that though. Like he was just
you know,
chilling.
I'm not that kind of person. I'm just like, but in my head, I was snapping. Like
he could have
like,
said no.
I'm
He
never
didn't have
pulling
to.
up on this girl again.
He could have said
she
no.
She was going good till she hit me with this address. she
No,
bugging.
I wasn't going good, obviously, because I made
bugging.
you wait all day.
Yeah, look, so she is bugging. Like straight bugging. Straight. She was so good until that address hit my phone. I'm telling you. So at this point, even me and my brother on the way home, like Joe, I took her home and stuff. On the way home, oh my goodness, man, I talked so much. Oh my God.
What you say about me?
I was snapping.
What you say?
Like you was no good, not good for nothing, lying.
He only said that because he ain't
she
getting
was
none.
going back to her
He
cousin
ain't getting
crib.
none.
She kicked
So
it like
he
she
was just
going,
mad because he ain't getting
I
none.
didn't
He had
get
to drive
none
that
for
far.
3 months, y'all. It took me 3 months. I'm not gonna
did.
cap. It's the only,
really
only.
And it's crazy
female.
because, like I told you before, like that was the first time I've ever made somebody wait.
Yeah, so at that point, I'm like, why me? You feel me?
Cause you was
Am
special,
I ugly
baby.
or something?
No, baby, you was special.
So no, I'm special.
You special, baby.
Yeah, whatever.
You special, baby.
I was special enough to get that address.
Mm-hmm.
So
Special, and you was also special enough for me to finesse you to get away home.
hell, you did finesse. Look, let me tell you, she always finessed me though too. Like she was always like.
But anybody
I'm
that
the
know him
finesser.
know he the finesse
I
king.
am,
So
but-
where do I get it from?
But
Okay.
you can't finesse but she would
Obviously.
be finessing the shit.
Obviously, I can.
So
Oh.
yeah, that shit's crazy. Look,
Let
so
him know.
we get to me and my brother on the way home snapping. I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna never pull up on her again. None of that. So then she texted me the next day. Obviously, all of that went out the door. It was like, what, you want a link? Hell yeah. So, so I pull up on her and stuff. This time, she was actually out the beach, but not. She wasn't even at that same address. She was at a whole different address.
I was at my
the
brother's
beach.
house at this point.
So every day for the whole summer, basically I was capping to my parents, right? I told my parents that I don't know if y'all can relate to this, but if you ever told your parents that you work and you don't work, you know you got to get out the crib a certain time, come back by a certain time.
Right.
So I was making it seem like I was going to work every day. The whole time I was just going out Virginia Beach.
Like literally, I would get a phone call from like 8 in the morning telling me to get up, get dressed and whatever. I'll get up, get dressed. By 10 o'clock, he's there. And then we'll legit go to the 7-Eleven that's right down the street from my brother's house. And then for the rest of the day, we just make moves.
It was a Wawa.
That's right, it was a Wawa. What did I say, 7-Eleven?
Yeah, so we get to the like I said, we hanging out every day, just doing stuff. We started going to the beach. We went to Busch Gardens. Like we was just anything you could think of, we did it. Literally, basically, like I said, we didn't have no choice.
Honestly, and
You
you know
couldn't
what's
just sit there
crazy
in
in
the
the
car
Busch
all
Gardens
day.
one? He tried to kill me at Busch Gardens, and
No.
I feel like that was him trying to pay me back for making him wait all that time.
She tried to
Because
kill herself.
he put me on the Apollo's Chariot. Now, anybody that knows the Apollo Chariot, that knows me, I can't stand, like, I can do roller coasters, but drops and flips and turns, no go. So we get to the Apollo Chariot. Now, mind you, I got on almost like every ride, right? Except for the Griffin, because I already knew what was up with the Griffin. So we get to the Apollo Chariot. You know, we get seated in, so, you know, I'm strapped in. Then he go, enjoy your 210-foot drop ride. I go, excuse me, and boom, thing
Yes.
starts.
At this point,
So,
she's yelling at the dude as we're
literally,
pulling off. She's
it was
yelling
like-
at the guy to get her
yes,
off of the ride.
yes, I was snapping, bro. I didn't care who was around me, who was around. I didn't care if there was even kids
She
around.
cussed
I
my
was
brother
going
out the
off.
whole way up.
Cause it was me, his brother, and then him. It would have been him, but his brother was in the middle, so he had to get it too. So it was like, I swear we were going up for like 3 minutes long, and I was snapping the whole time. And I had to I wasn't feeling good. Like my stomach was hurting, and I had to use the bathroom and all that other stuff. But by the time, so everyone that knows, there's a half drop and then there's a real drop. So I already lost half the lung at the half drop, and then like the rest of my lungs was just, it was so bad. It was just so terrible. And I got off the ride and I legit told him I never want to see him again.
Yeah,
And
she was
sure
mad. She
enough,
was
I
really
did.
mad. So But then, like I said, 2 days later, we went right back.
Right. But this time I ain't get on no rides, for real. We just walked.
And then once I actually surprised her at Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
She told me she was going to Busch Gardens with her family. So me and my brother was
and
like,
then,
all right,
and
we
then,
gonna meet her there.
But recently I found out who he went with. So that's why it was like...
It won't even like that, bro. She was a friend. She was a friend.
Yeah, whatever.
So she was like my homegirl, for real.
You know what they say? They say she's just a friend. Oh, you say she's just a friend.
And I was saying she was just a friend. So, it was like, after that, she went back to school. I had already graduated.
Oh yeah, it was my
junior year.
No, it was my senior year.
Whatever. So,
at Ocean Lakes High School. I hated Ocean Lakes. I'm originated from
y'all
Lansdowne.
know I went to Smith. She went to Ocean Lakes.
But I claimed Lansdowne
Tiger
before
Pride
I
till I
claimed.
die.
I claimed Lansdowne
You know the
before I
vibes.
claimed.
You know the
Ocean
vibes
Lakes.
if you from Smith. You know the vibes. You know how we get down.
Like, I don't know. I feel like the school wasn't bad. I feel like it was just the people for me. It was the people that went there for me because I just.
Man, I'm saying high school at Smith, crazy. If you went there, you know. Crazy.
So yeah, so this summer, that whole summer we was just doing that, like the whole summer. So imagine like 3 months straight you hanging out with the same dude. Mind you, you have not gave him anything. Y'all haven't even kissed, I don't think. So it was like real like connection. And then eventually it happened. And I feel like, and then when it happened during the summer, and then I went back to school. So like when I went back to school, my mindset was like, oh, like he's just a summer thing. Like I wasn't taking it nothing serious, like, because I just feel like I didn't think he really wanted me like that, for real. Like I just felt like it was more just like he just wanted to get what he got. Like he wanted to just fill me out, see what I have, see what I got to offer. And once I gave it up, that was that. But it didn't turn out that way. He ended up staying. And then, like, we basically were together for the rest of that year. I ended up meeting his parents in like December.
She met my parents at church, which is, you know, one of the best places to meet parents at, especially if your parents are religious.
Right. And then after that, months go by. We spent that New Year's together. That was like our first New Year's. It was 2018 New Year's. The New Year's of 2018. And then after that, it was my birthday. My birthday came up because, you know, I'm Pisces. So March was right behind December. And obviously, we were still together. So I spent my 19th birthday with him and his family. And that's when I found out.
My mom kicked her out the crib.
No, chill. She didn't kick me out the crib. We gonna get to that. But what was crazy and what really made me feel like, nah, I gotta keep this man, bro. I've never in my life met a man who can cook as good as him. Like, what was my birthday meal that year? I want to say it was like barbecue chicken, macaroni and cheese, cabbage, neck bone.
And we baked that cake.
Oh yeah, and then his brother baked me a cake for my birthday.
Anybody knows me, I can cook anything, literally.
Bro,
anything. She will tell you, she can vouch for me. I can cook anything, and it's gonna be good.
Yes, it was so good. Oh my god,
my mom taught me how to
I almost caught the itis whole time. Bubby, sit down.
Yeah, so she at my house for dinner. We eat and stuff. My mom comes out the room.
Okay, look, this is what happened. I don't know what his mama was on, but we didn't do anything for real, like, and nor were we even trying to make it seem like we were trying to. Cause knowing me, like, I kind of could sense like the type of people that they were, so I wasn't even trying none of that at all. Like, I can wait. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. But his mom kept making it seem like we were trying to do stuff, like she would question, like, for instance, like, anybody that know him know how he wears his pants during the winter. So it's like, how is he sagging? Or how how, like, what was she saying? She said something about
like,
your pants.
She came out of the room and I always wear sweatpants or basketball shorts under my pants or jeans.
Right.
Or whatever. But I had on sweatpants and basketball shorts. But my sweatpants were kind of like a little bit down, so like the top of my basketball shorts.
But she was trying to make it seem like
and she came out of the room and gave us this look like we were just like, and if you know how my house is made, there's no way you can do something like have sex in the kitchen and their room is like right there.
Mind you, I'm sitting at the bar. I'm sitting at the bar of the thing, and he's all the way towards the stove. So if you know how their house is set up, like, that's a little ways. So even if I did try to do something, how would I get to sit down where I was at so quickly if your room is like right there? That was my thing.
Basically, at this point, she was like, "Oh, well, you know, she knows. My mom knows that I was already graduating, but she was in school, so my mom would always try to use that to her advantage and be like, "Oh, well, you know, you need. You
don't need to be out late. You got it's a school night.
Like, oh, well, Carmel, you know, you need to get her home before the street lights come on. Like, look,
right?
Like we little kids or something. So,
I mean, I was the whole time. I was only 19.
So like. Another 20-30 minutes went by.
So no. His mama. So when she said that, she said, okay, it was like 7 something, and she was like, okay, well at 8:30, Ariana needs to go home. I said, okay, cool, fine. So it's like 8:10. I'm legit looking at the time while she's talking, and it's 8:10, and she comes out of the room and was like, okay, time to go. And I'm just like, you said 8:30. I still got 20 minutes, but I ain't gonna rush you because it's your house. So it's like, I was like, whatever. But I just found that pretty wild because it was like I really wasn't trying to do nothing. But the whole time I caught your son after though. Caught your son after. You sent me home early. That was your fault. You shouldn't have did that.
Damn. It's out there now. But
you should have did that. But that, I mean, the only reason why I put that out there is because that's how Ja got here.
Boy, my dad ever see this video? Oh my God. Regardless if it was years ago or not, he was gonna snap. We made a baby in the back of his car. But we used to like
chill. Okay, I didn't say all that.
But that's what you were saying though. You want to keep it real. Let's keep it real.
You said keep it raw. That's what we doing.
It was crazy though. You know, we had techniques with it. Pull the back seats down. You got a whole back seat.
Chill. Okay, we don't have to go into depth about that. Right? JoJo don't want to hear that. So. Basically, long story short, I get home at like 11 o'clock at night. My mom doesn't say nothing because my mom, I feel like my mom knew, like, because my mom met him and they hit it off really, really well. Like, even to this day, like, the mom that I'm talking about, because I have 2 moms, but like, the mom that I'm talking about, like, she knew, like, she knew what I was doing, but she was okay with it because it was with him. Because she trusted him, kind of. Like, they just had that type of relationship. And they still do to this day.
Right. Yeah, so we, after that day, kept going. And as every couple, that's, like I said, keeping it real, that's when we started running into our problems. And stuff, so.
Hello.
Watch out, So, at that point, that's when, like I said, we ran into a real life problem. Like,
Yeah.
real life problem. So,
Yeah.
You did it though.
But, no, but seriously though, like, I don't really think our real life problems were bad. I think it's JoJo. You can change him.
Nah, go ahead. Keep talking.
No, for real, go change him and I'll continue. But basically, basically, after that, we like a month went by, and I found out I was pregnant with Josiah. And at first, things were going good. Like you said, we're going to keep it raw. So at first, things were going good. But then, like, things started going left. And in my opinion, I feel like we weren't really together. Like, we weren't really together during the pregnancy, if you ask me. I wouldn't really consider of us being together because when we were, it was just bad.
Yeah, so, you know, we went through our problems.
But we overcame, clearly.
Obviously. And stuff. Some of them took longer than others. And stuff. Some stuff we still deal with today. But, like I say, we work it out. We talk it out. And make it work.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because as a couple / married couple, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, so. Really, it was probably like, let's just fast forward a couple months after the whole, you know, her coming to my house for her birthday. This is when it comes time for, no, let's fast forward to her next birthday and Valentine's Day.
Wait, what?
And
My
New
next
Year's.
birthday. What are you talking about?
Where you conceived Ja.
Oh, like.
Your following birthday.
Okay.
The very next year, her birthday is when Ja came.
Mhm.
Well, that's when, you know,
well, Ja
she
came.
started conceiving him. You know, we tried to get pregnant at first. We honestly did try. She took the pregnancy test. You can make that face all you want to, but we tried. So.
Cause like it's like we had an unplanned pregnancy. Like I wasn't stopping him, or well it wasn't even him because it's a 2 people thing. Like we weren't trying to stop what we were doing, but it was like we wasn't helping the situation either. So it was like when Jaja came in, it was just kind of like, well, we knew it was gonna happen eventually. It was just a matter of time, like when. So then Jaja. So basically, Jaja comes. That's like November 27th, and when I went into labor, honestly, my personal opinion is when I went into labor, like that's when we were like really good. Like Jaja kind of, like I feel like Jaja kind of helped us like mature for not only just us but for him as well.
Facts. He did though, like
Ja Stop matured. It, Bubby! You gonna get paint everywhere.
Ja matured us a lot, like a lot. Like.
And then he moved in with me and my mom because at the time I was living with my
But no,
other
she
mom.
told her mom I was only supposed to live there for 2 weeks.
No, that was the.
Ja.
No, that was the plan. Like me and my mom and him had all sat down. We made an agreement. Okay, he's only gonna be staying here for 2 weeks because at that time this was like my other mom, like my biological mom. And anybody that knows my mom knows how she is. So like, and she didn't really. It was crazy because the mom that I grew up with, like the mom that raised me, she loves Q. But the mom, like my biological mom, like the one who birthed me, she don't really like him.
He ain't a fan.
And it's because of like certain reasons that I'll talk about probably later on. But basically, yeah, so the agreement was just 2 weeks. And whole time he ended up staying for like what, 4 months?
Mm-hmm. Look, so y'all gotta hear this part though. So literally, the truth about her mom crib is I had basically was down and out, needed some money, whatever. So I did.
Are you gonna tell him that?
So I did something bad, right?
Something that was really foul,
again,
honestly.
I told her mom that, you know, I was working, so because if you know the
like
situation,
it was
mom
one of those situations. It was one of those situations
I had
where
to
it
carry
was like,
stuff a certain way and stuff. So
no.
I made it seem like basically that I had a job and stuff like that. So one day, her mom comes home, right? But in the process, she's making us lunch, right? Every day, her mom would go to work super early in the morning and stuff, and then by the time she got home, I was already off work.
Like my mom would walk through the door, and then maybe like 15.
But no, I would
later,
leave. Like I would leave.
Yeah, like, I would literally. I was feeling like I was in high school because it was like I would literally have to watch my mom. I would have to make sure. Okay, is that my mom? Because I could hear my mom's car. Like, because if you guys know how my mom's house set up and how my room was is literally right next to the driveway. So I would hear my mom pull in. So when she pulls in, he's getting ready to leave. So by the time she walks in the door, he's walking out the door.
Yeah, so as her mom would come through the front, I'd be going out the back. Then I'd just walk somewhere, come back like 20 minutes later. That's all. So it worked for a little bit, and then one day she was making lunch. I didn't have time to grab my stuff and get out the back door.
Because my mom came home early. Like, she played us. She came home early.
And even brought some McDonald's and stuff.
Right. And brought extra
even,
food.
Look, I'm
like,
going to come back to the McDonald's,
more than what she was supposed to.
I'm going to come back to the McDonald's. So, she comes inside. There's 2 plates on the counter. Her mom's like,
mind you, I ain't have time to get my shit together.
Why are there 2 plates on the counter? Ariana's like, you know, I'm about to eat them both. You know, I just separated them. Obviously, her mom was like, even in my head, I'm in the room like that is the dumbest lie I have ever heard. So
he's in my bed.
Yeah, because I'm thinking
he's in my bed.
Stop. No.
Come here, Bubby.
So her mom comes in the door.
He was under, mind y'all, he's underneath my bed this whole entire time.
Her mom.
This man is, at the time, my baby daddy is under my bed listening to
her
all
trying
of this.
To lie to her mom. But
me
trying,
because
her
mind
mom
you,
starts
like,
snapping. So at this point, she's like, you know, fuck it. Since you say he not here, I'm going to clean the house.
Right.
So she comes in our room and literally just starts going through shit. Just starts looking under Josiah's crib, looking in the closet.
She went
behind.
So she went under Josiah's crib and she saw. I think we had like, cause like last night we had like the night previous from that we had something, but we fell asleep. So I like just left the plate there, and my mom got mad at me because I left the plate there, whatever, which was understandable.
So, no, her mom never ever looked under the bed, but as she finished pulling trash off from under the crib, before she stood up, she goes, "Q,
you can come out now."
Q, I know you're under there. You don't have to keep staying under there. I'm not no idiot. Well, I'm not no effing idiot. So at this point, I'm like, damn. But she ain't see me. She never looked over there. So I'm just.
So he's still trying to play it.
So she gets out the room and she goes, "Oh, so I'm guessing your NIGGER boyfriend is just gonna stay under the bed?"
Yeah, mom. That was my mom's favorite.
So that's when I'm just like, oh nah, she's tripping. So here I go, tuck and roll back from under the bed. Now you talking to the wrong one, and you know I get to talking back and stuff. It gets into like a little argument, right? Everything settles down. Her mom calls my mom. Look, so the whole day is crazy. Her mom calls my mom, tells my mom everything that's been going on, how she found me under the bed. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. So that's my mom.
And it's crazy because that is the only time I've ever hid somebody in my house. Like I've never had an incident where I put like a man in my house or something like, oh, here you go.
So my mom talks to me about it or whatever. And then later on that night, her mom still has this little attitude or whatever going on.
So let me explain this part. So then, look, so my mom, so obviously like, you know, like tensions is still a little high. So my mom asked us to clean the bathroom. So we did. We cleaned the bathroom. And we did a pretty good job on that bathroom, honestly. And my mom was like, okay, yeah, so we cleaned up the bathroom. So me and Kwamel and Josiah, mind you, Josiah is only like 2 months at this time. So me and Kwamel and Josiah go into the room and we start getting ready for bed, like putting Josiah to bed and stuff. So while we in there, my mom is an alcoholic, okay? So like and the type of alcoholic, like when she's drunk, she's like, my mom is weird. She can be a happy drunk, but then she can be a very angry drunk. So I guess that night my mom was like a little angry drunk because, you know, of everything that had happened that day. So then, and it was the weekend, which makes it worse. So anybody that knows my mom knows Friday nights are her nights. So basically, I have Josiah in my hands. Carmel's laying next to me in bed. And I think we were watching, at that time we were binge watching Orange is the New Black. And my mom burst into our room, and I have curtains. So like how my bed is set up is like, it's my bed and then there's curtains, and it's thermal curtains. And my mom goes, oh, They weren't even open, first of all. They were legit, like, maybe cracked just slightly. But it wasn't that deep for her to take it the way she did. So she was just like, oh, you got my effing curtains open, blah, 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 all this extra stuff. And she's just going off. Like, she's screaming. Like, and mind you, Josiah is only 2 months old, and I'm trying to put him to sleep. And so I'm asking her, I'm like, I need you to quiet down. Like, I understand that you're mad, but I need you to quiet down. Like, I'm trying to put Josiah to sleep. I'm trying to put Josiah to sleep. She doesn't care about none of that. So she went from screaming to clapping her hands and jumping up and down. So at this point, in my head, I'm like, okay, you're being really childish. Like, you're tripping at this point. And anybody that knows me and my mom knows, like, we don't get along at all like that. Like, me and my biological mom, our relationship is real, real tough. So, like, when my mom started doing all that, I forgot how it escalated, but me and her started going back and forth, and all I remember her saying is, I'm gonna rip your effing teeth out. So I said, do it. And she legit tried, she got in my face and really tried to do it. So then that's when I pushed my mom back. Like, I don't know how Josiah got out of my hands, but somehow Josiah was into Cormel's hands, and I pushed my mom back. And then my mom tried to slap me, so I weaved it, but then I came back and I punched her. And I just remember two-piecing her. And then I stopped because my mom was she ended up stumbling into the corner, and she was crying. And I turned around, and Q's face is just, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, I just hit my mom. I was like, oh my God, like, I really just two-pieced my mom. And my mom's crying, like, bawling out. And then I don't know what in her head made her think this. But she was like, I guess she thought, oh, let me call Miss Dixon. Hopefully she can calm Ariana down. Mind you, at this point, like, me and Miss Dixon, like, we met a few times, but we don't really know each other like that for real. So in my head, I'm like, what is this woman gonna do for me? Like, she is not gonna stop me to do anything. What's gonna make you think I'm gonna listen to her if I don't even listen to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just really, really bad. And I remember that night we ended up having to stay with my brother, like, that whole weekend. And what made it worse was because it was my mom's birthday weekend. Like, it was that Friday night, and my mom's birthday was on that Sunday. And I felt really, really bad. That was probably one of, like, the worst things I probably did to my mom. One of the worst things I probably
did to my mom. Watch out.
And then,
move.
Eventually, we went from my mom's house. Because eventually, you know, after a while, things started just getting bad between her and him. So, I had made the choice to basically make my own family work. The one I created. So, I left with him and my mom. I left my mom's house with him. And we went and we stayed with his aunt. Anything you feel like significant we should tell that happened at your aunt's house? It was just so cold.
Yeah, really cold. We was living in Newport News, right by the
right on the shipyard.
Right by the shipyard.
It was freezing.
Then we ended up going to my parents' house.
And that's when I've learned who they are.
Is when. And
that's all I'm gonna say about that, because that's still my in-laws and I still have love and respect for them. But just know that's when people who know his parents. We just know that
some stuff should have been carried differently on both sides. Oh, and that's on both sides. We should have done some stuff differently, but they should have carried some stuff differently. And that's just how it is.
But people that knows his parents know, like, how, like, they really, really are. Like, how they just, like, that's just how they are. And I got hip to that once I moved in. That's when I was just like, so this is why, like, that's like when everything really started piecing together, is when I lived with his parents. Because, like, at first I couldn't understand why you have to go home at 6 o'clock every day. Like, to me, and then it's like, you have to think about it. You already graduated, like, you're way past 18. Why do you have to go home at 6 o'clock?
But I graduated high school when I was 16, so it took me, you know, a couple of years to get to that part when I was 18. And Josiah, watch out.
Watch out, Bubby.
I mean, it took me a minute to get to, like, you know, a couple of years and stuff, but it's just, my dad always had this thing where it's like, if I was using, until I had my own car, which I did, and stuff. It was just like, if he wanted his car back by a certain time, that's when it had to be back. So,
no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
yeah, really.
Which was understandable.
He did not care what the situation was. That car needed.
And
to
I
be
feel
back.
like now that we're parents, like we can kind of look back and be like, well, I can understand why they were like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't want Jaja to just have my car out at all kinds of night, anywhere, you know. But then, like, I think, like, what, 6 months living with them? Like, 6 months in. Because we was already talking about getting married when we was with his aunt.
Yeah, like, when we moved to my aunt's house, that's when it was like, okay, you know, we've been together for 3 to 4 years.
Now, mind you, we were still having our problems through all this. We're keeping it real.
Yeah, so.
We were still having, like, real raw problems, but we just had to make it work because that's what we wanted. We want both of our kids to
and
have
that
the
time
family
we was looking at what's best for Josiah.
Right. It wasn't about us no more.
Like I say, I was adopted. I grew up without my mom, without my dad. So to me, it was like, regardless of the situation, if we was together or not, I never wanted him to grow up without both of his parents.
Yeah.
So.
Cause I grew up I grew up with just men. Like I only had like my dad and my brothers and my sister. Honestly, like my mom, like I would see my mom on like the weekends, but like I said, if you know what's up between me and my mom, then you know. Like I don't really have a relationship with my mom due to how things were in the past. So when I became a mother, it was my mission. Like it still is to this day is my mission to make sure I turn out nothing like her. Because I would never want my kids to sit here and throw in my face, oh, well, you weren't there for me at this time. What are you trying to be there for now? Or just trying to just say, well, you left me for so-and-so. What do you want now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't ever want my kids to say that about me. And as a mother, I just feel like no matter what, you got to be there for your kids. Because at the end of the day, they're all you got.
Facts. Always. At the end of the day, that's what I'll tell anybody that, like, me and my parents have our differences. To this day, we still have our disagreements about stuff.
Now, don't get me wrong, I still love my mama now.
But, yeah.
It's just...
But it's just, at the end of the day, I feel like some things need to be carried differently. And I just feel like, but to me, that's all based off of how your parents are raised.
But that's another story.
Because my parents were raised a lot differently than how they raised me. But it's like some parents try to raise you how they were raised, but
it doesn't work like that because it's like the generations are different.
Yes.
But like I said, that's a different
video, though. So we will get into that, but that's different. But for us, it was more of just like we just had to. For us, it's always been adapting. Like we've always had to adapt to a different environment or a different city or a different lifestyle and stuff. And I just feel like for the most part, we've been able to. It's just like I said, we've had our differences. We still do, but we make it work.
But we made it though. We made it out clearly because now we have our own place. And
it's crazy because I always told her that I would get her own place. But she always told me
because I've never
tired of living with like other people.
That would be a different video for me because it's like I went through like a lot of shit. So it was like let's just say I've never had, ever since my dad died, I've never had like a stable. I'm lying. No. Ever since I moved out of my mom who raised me, like my second mom, ever since I moved, I'm gonna call her Mama T. If I haven't moved out of my Mama T's house, I've never really had a stable home. Cause like when my dad died, it was like I only had my Mama T for real. Like no one else didn't really. It was just difficult. So basically, ever since I left Virginia Beach, it was just like I've never really had somewhere to call home. Or I never really felt at home. And it was always his mission to get me to feel like I'm at home. To give me my home. Which I appreciate.
For sure.
What y'all think about this? You have to paint it a little bit more.
But
yeah, so long story short, we got married, boom, got our own house, boom. And as soon as we got our own house, I found out I was pregnant with Jace. Oh, by the way, that is his name. We never told him his name. Yeah, that's his name. His name
Baby
is Jace
Jace
Eli. And we have Josiah Ray right here. And I think that's pretty much it for real. When it comes to our story, it's just being continued.
Yeah, just basically that's just so y'all know where we come from, where we started, how we got here.
I know this video is so long.
If you
but y'all have to watch the whole thing so that way y'all really know like how.
Obviously, if you get to this part, you don't watch the whole thing. So
yeah. Like, cause I know some people be thinking like for instance, like on his side, be like, how did he get with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how did he get with her? Or like, and people on my side be like, how did this even happen? Like,
that's fast, but that's basically the basis of it. How I got started. A couple things happened. Like I say, nothing is perfect. We not perfect. We go through real life problems just like y'all do every day. Every day. But like I said, we deal with it.
That's one thing I do like about us like the most is the fact that like
regardless
we're so imperfect that we still continue. Yeah. And that's another thing. That's one thing you've always said about us. Like, we always make a way. Like, every time me and him come together about something, we make it work.
Yeah, there's been times where we couldn't even be to where we at now, but we made a way. Stay hopeful. Stay positive.
Blessed.
Stay blessed.
You keep the Lord, and may the Lord stay in your favor.
Yes, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord stay in your corner. Please.
Like,
positivity.
Comment, and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, share the link, send it to people and stuff. This is just our story and stuff.
This is just the beginning, y'all.
You know us.
That's something I want y'all to know. It is just the beginning. There is so much more. It's just beginning
for y'all too, as y'all know.
Oh yeah, Jaja, say hi.
Say your byes. Ja.
Say bye, Ja. Not to him.
Not to him.
Look, come over here. Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye.
He not gonna say it, but we love y'all. He love you. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions that you don't think we
comment down below at any of these videos on what y'all want to see.
If you got questions that you don't feel like we answered about our relationship, please ask.
Or even questions about us individually, because I know we kept saying like, oh, that's for like a different video. That's for like a different video.
So if you got independent questions that you just want one of us to answer, please ask. We will answer you.
Now, I will. This time, I will make sure he put our Instagram links down below in the description, so y'all can like even if we don't see it on YouTube, y'all can like DM us.
Yeah, facts.
Because like I said in the previous video, that is my most reliable source. That's where you will get my attention. Is my Instagram.
Facts. We will give y'all access to our social medias and stuff. I'll put the link in there.
I think in the introduction, I put it in the comments. So you can see it
you
there.
Go back to that introductory video, please. That is the beginning, the introductory video. Please, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. We have one about conspiracies called Wake Up. Please, if you have not seen it. And we have one relationships part 1 that's already posted. Please go watch it. Subscribe, link, comment, like. Not link. Share the link. We got relationships part 2. Like I said, comment. It's gonna be the female perspective. Basically, we still gonna add some more stuff into it, but basically, y'all can get y'all female perspective and stuff. So we hope y'all fuck with it.
Ask me question, girls.
We hope y'all like us.
What y'all think?
We love y'all.
Cause I'm talking for us females. So what y'all think I need to put in there for us?
Bunch of you know, if y'all females just talk, it's talk. But for
like y'all don't. Y'all talk more than we do. But that's for a different story.
Like I said, we got way more comments still coming, content. So just stay tuned, be blessed, stay positive, keep it raw.